beautiful young bucks this week and a birth-defected groundhog. And the turkey, they're still nested, but they're moving around. But so is them old coyotes. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the foothills of the Smokies. Another chapter of As the Ridge Turns here in East Tennessee. Now, we've had one good rainy spell. It's rained for off and on for a week now, and we've got some good beneficial rain. Nice rain. But we also had some flash flooding in the areas nearby, and sadly someone lost their life in these flash floods. But I thank the Lord for every drop we got. Don't care nothing about the flash floods or severe storms. But the woods are so beautiful, and the animals, I know they enjoy all this water they've got. And down there at the sinkhole, it had plenty of water in it, I'd say. But the weeds are so deep, you really can't see it. It's like a little jungle down there. But that's the sinkhole here on the ridge. Hope y'all doing well out there, taking care of yourself. So relax, and let's see what stepped in front of the cameras this week. Up on the ridge, here looks like a little yearling, just doing his thing, browsing. And that looks like old Smoke doing some hunting up on the ridge. Well, so is the old coyote. He's doing some hunting too, and he's not picky what he gets either. Well, this is a female here. And they just come and go, hunting these little animals. And they keep them run off. They hard on them. But the turkey, like I said, they should be hatching, have some little chicks here any time now. But they love these woods when they're wet. All these worms and insects, they have a good time. And you can see the little deer herd here. They enjoying themselves. They're just waiting on them fawns. Any time now they should start dropping in fawns this month. And you can see how heavy they are. Just varies on the moon phase, I guess. They just come and go, browsing all day long. You can see how heavy they are. I hope we do good on fawn. And here I found an old tree up above one of my cameras. Storm damage, blowed the top out of one of them trees. Deer's up there eating on the leaves. And there's a beautiful young buck growing his antlers. Thought he'd stop in front of the camera. Here's another one. This one's starting to fork. Ain't they pretty? They just getting them antlers grow back. Watching out for them coyotes. And a little robin here, beautiful little robin in front of the camera. And there's a glimpse of old Yeller. Just a glimpse of him. Glad he's doing well. And there's a glimpse of old Billy Bob the bobcat. Just the back end of him passing through. Don't know why he didn't set the camera off earlier. And there's a groundhog from the Dirty Dan clan doing his thing. And there's another one. Now this is a young one. A lot of young groundhogs this week. Must have been this year's batch. But all of a sudden they just showed up. And here's a sad thing. But this one was born with a birth defect. And it's sad to see. The back end of him didn't develop. So he just drags himself around. Ain't that sad part of nature? But he don't seem to be in no pain. Just born that way. And the other groundhogs, see them working on the trail. And the little ground squirrels and chipmunks. And even down to Aiken Pile. Groundhogs seem to be everywhere all at once. Young ones. And a coon. Daylight. Them little squirrels stop by here always eating on something. Looks like he's eating on a little oak sprout. And at the salt block, deer so nervous, these coyotes running every which way. But they're here. And at the stump, a little beautiful wren on a rainy morning. Whole little set of them. They pretty. And of course the squirrels is always here. Them and their buddies. But they always find something. They've got a walnut. Must have dug it up somewhere. And down at the cut, the deer just browsing through. On a rainy morning, the cameras is wet. And they like to use this little pass from one level of the ridge to the next. Shortcut. And there's one of the Dirty Dan clan moving down. And a turkey, a hen, working her way up the ridge. And of course the little squirrels is always here. Eating on something. At the log, looks like the deer herd passing through in the background. And they just crisscross these woods all day long, browsing what they can find to eat. And there it looks like little Ricky passing through. This is his spot. Not much here this week. And at the tree, there's some more Ricky's little friends. And a deer. Just browsing wherever they happen to mosey to. That one looks like a pregnant one. And it looks like a beautiful tom right there, turkey. Passing through. Of course, the groundhog clan here. Coming and going. Like they're coming out here a lot more than they're going. I don't know, but they're so comical. But they doing some moving around this week. That's a young one there. And up at the rock, looks like a wren got him a worm there. And a little ground squirrel packing leaves. And groundhogs, though, these are young ones. This is not Dirty Dan. Might be his kin or his kids, but they just come in here. Ain't he pretty? Handsome thing, ain't he there? I'll figure out some names for these. Yep, this ain't Dirty Dan or Diane, but it's part of the Dirty Dan clan. And they enjoying the patio, too. Taking it easy. Chip off the old block, ain't they? And they like that bush also. Now this is one of their brothers or sisters here in the set. Has to be. But this one wasn't born. Unlucky. Handicapped. Don't seem to be in no pain. But it, underdeveloped back end don't work. Just the front. But what can you do? Just nature, sad part. Live its life the best it can. What it's got left. The only thing about this is he's easy pickings for the predators if he strays too far from the rock. Bless his heart. But that's nature. Good or bad. And at the back door, there's a little blue jay. And there's a deer passing through. How it got through them big rocks, I don't know. I barely can get in there for the camera. And the young groundhogs use it too. Don't know where Dirty Dan went this week, but this must be his kids. And look at here. I'm going to name this one, if he lives, Two-Wheeler. Because all he's got's two wheels. Bless its heart. I hope he survives. And down at the pond, not much going on at the pond, just a little squirrel. And on the other one, you can see the weeds is blocking everything out. These animals are here, but the camera can't pick them up. Come dark, no tell the coons and their buddies out making their rounds, night after night. What can they get into? What's new? And there's a beautiful little skunk. That's old Stripe there. And the possums. They love this wet weather. Especially at night stuff. All these bugs and worms. They love the insects. And they like it in the rain too. It's just fog here. And this is the rain we had one night. A lot of rain, off and on. Pretty rain, cloud up, rain. Some of them was heavy too. But I sure appreciate getting this rain. And the deer, they just browsing the night, just like they do in the daytime. Just trying to stay away from each coyote. And here at the salt block, little possum. They like the salt too. And these does heavy with fawn, I know they're tired. They rest when they can. Some still got their yearling from last year with them. But the whole herd's in here sometime or another. But they watch out for them coyotes. And there's at the cut a possum passing through. And a skunk. Rainy night. And the coon gang moving through. And at the log, I have no idea what this coon's up to. But there's old Scar moving through. He's healing up good. Glad to see him doing better. And at the tree, that looks like Stripe moving up. Skunk. And the coons just making their rounds. On the way to the Rock Motel. And there's old No-Tail. Looks like a little bear cub, don't he? And up at the Rock, night after night they check this out. And the possum, they live here. And the beautiful little skunk, little Stripe, he lives here. He's been here a few months now. But I haven't seen no young yet, really, except for the groundhogs. But they're out there. They just ain't stepped in front of the cameras. The parents haven't took them by them yet. And at the back door, little possum moving in. And old Mighty Mouse is still hanging in there. I'd say the coyotes just kept them feral cats scared off. That was Scar moving through. And a little yearling moving through on the ridge. And of course, little possum, this is just a little travel way for the animals on top of this ridge. And they wear it out too. Heading towards the pond. At the pond, there's a wet coon in the camera. But that's just about it. Nothing stepped in front of the cameras. And on the other one, if they don't step out of them weeds, the camera won't pick them up. But I know they're there, because there's water in that pond. Come down, there's a coon going by the log on his way back to den trees early in the morning. And turkey off the roost, starting their day. And the deer in the trees, eating the leaves. And at the salt block, nervous deer at dawn. But they still here best they can. But they're watching. They're always weary. Well, another day, young folks, and it's time for the little squirrels. They got their own business. And they have a good time at it all day, too. Always looking for that elusive nut. They'll even dig up what they buried back in the fall. And they're so relaxing to watch. Well, that's just what stepped in front of the cameras this week, guys. Hope you enjoy these little things. Stop by next week for another chapter of As the Ridge Turns. So take care, God bless, and I'll see you next time.